Hello everyone! This is another vlog post of On the Narrow Path with Katrina McHyde on Tim McHyde's YouTube channel. I am going to sort of follow up with the big long vlog post that I did, number 41 that I just did. And I got into a little bit on healthy boundaries, so I want to go into that a little more. But for now, I'll share with you at first because I know everybody likes to hear what's happening at the McHyde house. So we just found out about a couple hours ago that Caleb didn't get the job yet in order to be able to, the dream job that he wanted. But we're still praying. They denied him, but he put in an email saying what he could do better and maybe ask for extra information on how he can do better. And sometimes having that, sometimes they go, wait a minute, and they back up and look at it. Otherwise, he's still looking for a job. We'd appreciate your prayers for the perfect job that Father has for him. We're still looking, and we hope to have that within 10 days or so. So you can hear him in the background. He's typing away. We share an office together, so if you hear noise, it's because we share an office. It's a good thing we really like each other. So in 10 days, we have to have everything on the desk. We're still working on immigration. It still becomes a saga here. We're doing the best we can to get everything together. And people are really rooting for us and pulling out all strings that they possibly can to help us out. And we feel comfortable and calm about it. And people are still having to really work hard at trying to help us stay here. We're working on insurance still for Zachary and Tim. We thought we had it, and we got insurance, and they said, well, this insurance won't work unless you get it legally translated into German. And that would be very, very expensive because they wanted to know everything the policy covered, which we had in English. So we're back to the drawing board of finding a German insurance company that will insure us. And we just got information today that supposedly they have to give us insurance. It's going to be expensive, but they have to give it to us for Zachary somewhere. So it's okay. Father owns it all. Father owns it all. We are just fine. We're just relaxed about it and doing our part and opening up and asking Father what to do next. So just because, you know, you go Father's way doesn't mean things go smooth all the time. And even at that, I always love to think that when it's not going smooth, that Father's working out something even better that I can't even imagine, because he's just that good. Daddy's just that good. He loves us that much. And that's for all of us. I'm not just talking about the McHyde family. I'm talking about the whole family, the body of Christ. So even to us, the bigger that we can believe of how good God is, usually the stronger he shows up that good. So I've never not had that happen, actually. The more that my mind has changed over the years to see him as good and believe in his goodness and not go off of evidence of what I think I'm experiencing, but off of truth of his nature, of what was shown through the Messiah, of how his nature is of love and compassion and patience and kindness and goodness and gentleness. And he loves to believe in us, and he loves to never give up on us, even when we give up on ourselves. And even if we don't know him, don't know he exists, or fight and struggle and whatever, it does not change his love, because he is love. That is his nature, and his nature is abundance, and he wants to abundantly give to you because he's just a giver. That's what he is. So the more we know that and take off the lies that the enemy has tried to put on us of having the suspicion that maybe God isn't as good as you might think, which is the whole downfall of how sin happens, then you start to go back to restoration that is for you through the blood of the Messiah. So we're on the path of just putting one foot in front of the other, and every day has been just crazy, crazy, crazy. Busy with just whatever's been put in front of us to take care of, whether it's our son Zachary or having to go to different offices and trying to find things that nobody knows. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. But actually, we've kept our calm pretty well. And, you know, these type of situations are the situations that show how much you've grown. Are you really, you know, going in patience and kindness towards one another? How do you treat one another when you're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, scared, stressed, or a combo? I had a couple days ago, I haven't done a vlog post for a couple days, but a couple days ago, even, I was super tired. All of a sudden, actually, every single one of us just hit this time at different times in the day where we were super tired, like just like super tired. And I got so tired, and I had to tell he said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I'm just all of a sudden super tired." And there was so much to do yet. There was so many things that we still had to get together for documents, because Caleb and Tim had to run yesterday to the embassy to get their passports renewed, because we found out that there's only 10 months left on their passports before they expire. And the German government will only give you as long of residency as the date of your expiration of your passport. So last minute, last second, we're praying, and we believe that Father's helped us to find this out. You know, very last second is going to help it go through. But they did the work, and usually it takes 2 or 3 weeks, they say, in order for the new passports to come in. We're hoping for a miracle, because we only have 10 days before we have to have it on the desk of the immigration officers. So we're not worried about it, because Father has been with us in so many different ways. And even if we don't stay, which I think we'll be staying, I don't think there's any problem whatsoever, but even if we don't, Father's going to be with us wherever we're at, and he will guide us on what to do next. He owns it all. He owns all countries and nations and money and situations and time, and he's got some plan worked out. It's just really nice to believe that and be able to rest in him and go through life. So I'm hoping that encourages you in whatever you're facing. You can, if you want, just, you know, just believe. And when you're really arrested in your growth, or in what's going on for you, if you are what I call H.A.L.Ts, I added on to it. It's an acronym that's actually H.A.L.T, H-A.L.T, but I added H-A.L.T-S, and it's hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And this one I put as scared or stressed. It's actually the same thing. Scared and stressed are the same thing, but I put that on there too. So if you have one of those, then you know you're already handicapped for that moment. If you have a few of those going on at the same time, or just a couple of those, you're even more handicapped. And that's the time when we are really tested, our mustard is really tested, to see if we can stay loving, stay slow. Don't expect yourself to be able to do it all. Ask Father what part you can do. And even if people want to judge you for being slow or whatever, to believe in God's judgment more than their judgment. Stay in peace and just say, you know, like, I was super tired. And it's really hard to keep a smile on your face when you're super tired, because you're just going, ugh. And it's not that anything's wrong or you're upset. It's just like the face doesn't want to work. Your eyes barely want to stay open. So I said, you know, I'm just really tired. Nothing's wrong. I'm just so tired, and I really want to serve and help. I'm having a hard time, and I'm just going to take it slow and do the best I can. And it was trying on Tim for that, but I stayed in peace, and I knew within a couple hours or an hour or so it would lift, and it did. And Caleb had his time later on where we had to get things last minute ready in order for them to run to Munich, which is a couple hours away. And Tim had a time when he got tired too, and we just had to push it. We had to pull it all together so that we can get things done as fast as possible. We did really well. So, very impressed. Healthy boundaries. Let's talk about the healthy boundaries. Just real quick. I'm going to make it, you know, I do posts all the time, and I'm sure that this will come back up again. But, you know, many times when we're walking this walk, we're wondering, okay, so what's the loving thing to do? What do we do? When do we put down the healthy boundaries? And what is a healthy boundary? And when do we have what's called patience, right? So what are we supposed to do? And the answer is not simple. Actually, you can get wise counsel, which I suggest doing. Definitely try to get wise counsel when you can. But sometimes the situation isn't something that anyone else can. They can ask you some questions to help, But the truth is you kind of have to be guided, and you learn while you're on the job. You get better at knowing when to put healthy boundaries down in love, and when it's a matter of just holding a space of love for people to figure it out. And maybe it hurts. The hardest part about talking about healthy boundaries is that sometimes Jehovah, he asks us to put healthy boundaries down, and it doesn't necessarily keep us safe or from getting hurt. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were very clear that you shall not bow down to any other god, none. And they were willing to uphold that, only to serve the one true God, Jehovah. And Nebuchadnezzar was asking them to break that law to save their lives. And they said, we don't even have to answer you on this one. We'll go to the furnace. So they were called to put down a healthy boundary. And it wasn't necessarily their safety. And unfortunately, walking this walk is like that. We carry our cross daily in the same way. That love is most important. That following God's way, which is loving him with our whole heart, might, and soul, and loving our neighbor as ourselves for the love of God, sometimes it's dangerous. And then there's the other side of when Father has you refrain putting any boundaries down. For instance, King David, when he was running from his father-in-law for years and years and years. You know, his father-in-law was King Saul, and he loved his father-in-law, even though his father-in-law ran after him for many years and wanted to kill him. And David knew not to touch the anointed, and it cost him. I mean, he was, you know, kind of a vagabond in a sense, you know, just having with a whole group of clan of people that he was responsible for that felt that they were supposed to go with him. And he had to like run from sometimes to another nation or to another area. And he had a whole clan of people to feed that were with him on top of it and try to hide from King Saul. It was really hard. And he felt that Father was telling him to run and not, you know, necessarily touch King Saul. So what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do is very individual to how he works with you, the situation, and he won't always tell you to do things that will be safe for you. Sometimes he will, and sometimes he won't. And sometimes the right answer, you can't judge it off of safety. So this is what's really hard, and it takes just prayer on your knees and asking Father to help you make the best decision. And if you make a wrong decision, but your heart is right on trying to support loving God with your whole heart, might, and soul, and loving your neighbor as yourself for the love of God, if you're doing the best you can, you get all kudos, and Father will fix whatever you get wrong. And if you get something wrong and you didn't even know how you got it wrong, it's okay. The blood of Christ covers that too. And if you know you're doing it wrong and you can't seem to control yourself, but you would love to be able to control yourself and you don't know how to do that, people with anger issues, which I should get into anger issues sometime. It's an addiction like many other things. But if you pray and learn how to breathe and slow down and fight it the best you possibly can and start focusing on God with you and loving God with your whole heart, mind, and soul, and loving your neighbor as yourself in every situation, not making it about you and your anger, making it about him and love. He will fill you up in that moment to be able to handle it better if you slow down and don't do anything rash. But simply, you know, healthy boundaries, it's a tough job. It's a tough job to learn on the job. But you do it little by little, and it works out. It works out, and it's okay to just keep growing and practicing. Be like as a little child. Father is quite happy with you just wanting and choosing to keep trying to be on the narrow path and trusting him to help you develop. He's a perfect, beautiful teacher, and he's okay with you not being perfect yet and still growing. And you can be okay with that too. All right, hopefully that encourages you for the day, and hopefully our stories, our testimonies of what's happening in our life will encourage you that whatever testimony is unfolding in your life, Father is already showing up in it all the time. You just have to be willing to have eyes to see it and learn how to rest in him even when it looks scary, He is there. He will help. All right. Jehovah bless you and keep you, and give us some comments. Subscribe to the channel here, Tim McHyde's channel here, if you would like to other vlog posts, updates to make sure that you catch them when I make them. I try to make them every day, but they don't get done every day, but very frequently. And or come to escapeallthesethings.com. There's plenty of free articles there. And if you would like to support us, there's ways to support us there as well, so that we can continue to make free stuff to share with other people and still be able to eat. It works really good for everyone. All right. Yehovah bless you and keep you.